Good, 100%. So all investors are gone? Is that what it is? Hi, my name is Dave Gandhi. I'm CEO, co-founder of Reliable Coders. We are a project execution accelerator. That's how I define it in a fancy way. But we are a mobile app development studio. Our competitors are Deloitte Digital and Pivotal Labs. We work on high-end. Just wanted to give you kind of clear picture why I am here. We sponsored this event because we love working with entrepreneurs. We started about 24 months ago, last April 2012, we were 7 people. We ended the year with 37, and this year we're going from 37 to 300. It just shows how fast we are growing, but the proof is we have helped almost 30 startups execute and build their mobile apps and web apps. We're growing very rapidly, and we love to sponsor and work with entrepreneurs because our background and history is as an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years. My last startup was a company called Nexaid. It has become the largest mobile ad exchange. Google DoubleClick is an ad exchange for Google. Yahoo has Right Media Exchange. Microsoft has AdECN and OpenX. I built the largest ad exchange. It does 40 billion mobile ad impressions a month, raised $25 million from 4 prominent VCs. And this, I thought, let me go on the other side of the table, help other entrepreneurs execute their vision. So we are a premium web mobile app development studio. Our model is unique. 100% of our team, 45 people, are in Sunnyvale office. No remote team because project execution is hard. Concept to commercialization is a very hard journey that you guys are on, and we want to be your partner. And that's what we do. We've been building mobile and enterprise solution. 3 areas we focus. This is another unique differentiation that we have. We go from design, where we work with you in UI UX side of it, because part of our team comes from creative ad agencies. We go full execution by developing your mobile app or web app on any platform. And of course, we work with a lot of enterprise, 4 of the Fortune 500 companies such as Verizon Wireless, Microsoft, Yammer, Korn Ferry. These are 4 Fortune 500 customers along with 30 startups. We have a good team size, pretty interesting team that is very passionate about building mobile apps and web apps for entrepreneurs. And this whole team is in the Sunnyvale office. So what we do is, we will work with entrepreneurs and help you become critical thinkers instead of false positivity. I have gone through this journey 3 times, and I know the challenges, what you have to go through. Ideas, as someone said, is cheap. Execution is 99%. We want to be part of your partner in the execution journey. We will help you find tools of differentiation that will become instruments of success for you guys. So that's what we do. Instead of wasting too much of your time, my colleague will kind of explain in one area that is growing very rapidly, which is mobile enterprise. Enterprise mobility, and instead of further pitch, we'll just explain you what big problems we are seeing, and some of you guys might be able to take advantage from it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dev. My name is Bill. A couple of you might remember me from the last pitch event over at the Ming's restaurant. But Dev mentioned a couple of the enterprise-grade solutions we've built and a couple of the clients we've worked with, one of which is Korn Ferry, Verizon, and Yammer. But what is enterprise mobility? Well, enterprises are trying to figure out ways to allow their employees to access data on mobile devices. Not only access the data, but input data, share data, and things like that, right? So what are some of the problems with that? Well, we have device fragmentation. We have iPhones, we have Android, and not only the iPhone and Android iOS or OSs, but also the different hardware specs, okay? We have different processors, different graphics capabilities and whatnot. I'm sure we even have people that still use our green screen Nokia phones, right? We all remember those with Snake. So leading on to the BYOD concept, kind of relates back to device fragmentation. Everyone has their own device. They want to be able to access their email and share documents right from their own device, right? So that means everyone's going to kind of bring a little something different to the table. So how do we solve that issue? Compliance, not only from a legal perspective, but from an industry standard perspective. We need to comply with things, like HIPAA, PCI if you're dealing with credit card data, a lot of compliance issues out there. How do we back up our data? How do we recover our data from these mobile devices that can be out in the field? A simple use case, if you have a field worker, the old style would be you go out there with a notebook and you take all your little notes and you go back and you put them in your app. Well, people don't want to do that anymore. It's inefficient. You want to be able to take a tablet out there with you or take a mobile phone out there with you and input this data. Issue of lost, stolen, and I should have put it, but it's not there, damaged devices. A buddy of mine just got a job at an Apple data center, broke his laptop in the first month he worked there. What happens to all his data? And then we have the problem of multiple vendors. There's lots of solutions out there, but how do you assess those solutions? How do you determine what the best fit is for you? Because every company is going to be unique, right? I'm going to go back there. This guy right here, this is your CTO, this is your CIO, and eventually your directors and managers. This issue of enterprise mobility puts a little frown on their face when they have to think about it. So think about them when you're coming up with your strategy. So enterprise mobility basically consists of three main components. Your people, so that's going to be your customers, your employees, your process, which is not only your process but also your operations, which can, as you know, be very different, and then your technology, your devices and your infrastructure, your network and databases. So a couple of solutions for dealing with these problems of developing a mobile strategy is mobile device management. How do we manage security policies? How do we manage inventory of these devices? There's companies out there that will put RFID chips in these devices so you can manage your inventory. How do we deal with this issue of remote data that we talked about? How do we deal with applications? Kind of goes into mobile application management. How do we deal with that? How do we deliver these applications for installation purposes and removal of the applications? How do we ensure users are authorized to be using them? There's three main components to this, not only the deployment of it, but also managing it. How do we push patches and updates to applications, and also the analyzing these applications for reporting purposes. Other basic problems, you can read them there, but some solutions, have an enterprise app store where people can go in and access all these applications, with a search feature. There's development tools out there. Dev kind of touched on the importance of a UI and a UX design. Well, there's development tools out there to help you do that, but how do you keep that look and feel consistent across all your platforms? So that's where we're here to help. We want to act as your consultants to not only strategize, but also to execute. So when you're developing a strategy, it has to be custom tailored to every company. You have different products, you have different customers, entirely different market, different infrastructure. So it needs to be individually catered to that specific company, okay? And then when you execute it, there's a few things involved. You need to assess not only existing technology infrastructure, but assess vendors. What vendors can we use that we're not, and that's where we come in. So we would like to offer all of you, if any of you are interested, we will offer you a $1,000 credit on any of our services, okay? And what we do is web mobile development, but we'll also consult and work with you on the implementation side of things. So we really didn't want to take up a full 30 minutes of your time, so that's really all we got for you, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, so don't stay in your seats because I locked the judges out and I got to go get them, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we're getting started. So your name's oh wow, big company. How big this is? Big like
Can I just announce the thing tonight?
Why don't we wait for wait a week until judges come back? We're gonna get their attention and we'll have to talk about to discuss what they liked, what they didn't like, any companies, and we decided to let the 1 minutes be part of this because the judges really like some of the 1 minute presentations. So they're going to evaluate those separately. Before we do that, Bill just wanted to make another comment about tonight's party.
Real quick, everybody, just want to remind everyone we're having a networking event at our office from 6 to 8 o'clock. The address is 1250 Oakmead Parkway, Suite 306. It was in the email you guys have all received, and there will be food there, and more importantly, beer and wine. So please come and join us.
And you're welcome to bring your friends. Again, it's generously hosted by Reliable Coders, so it's a fun Friday night happy hour mixer. All right, so we'll start with Rick.
Okay. First, we wanted to thank all the companies that presented. We appreciated
We have your
everybody's,
attention.
obvious passion and all the work that went in, or is going into the companies and into the presentations themselves. First, going backwards, starting with the 1 minute presentations. It's incredibly hard to summarize your company, so in 60 seconds. So kudos for that. In particular, we wanted to mention Prazu. We really thought that the presenter was obviously prepared, very confident, and had a lot of experience. And we liked the very concise statement of the problem and solution, and it was intriguing. I apologize for not remembering the gentleman's name with the hat. Also with the hat. I guess from a science perspective, we found it very, very intriguing. You've got to learn more about the business, but the science itself, obviously, could change the world in that area. With respect to the longer presentations, we really, liked the presentations that clearly articulated the problem and the solution, gave a sense, perhaps, of competitive barriers that the company could establish, and clearly, stated the market. And for the future, we would recommend that presenters hone their presentation to focus on those areas. Of the group, we liked FlickFlyer and thought that it was there are lots of questions about the competition in that space, but we thought that it was a well thought out experiment that could potentially yield an interesting company. And again, thank you everybody. There's obviously a lot of passion and drive there, and we hope all of you succeed.
Thank you. Let's give a round for Rick. One of the things that I do a lot of, for those of you who know me for the 11 years I've been doing this, is I love to experiment and try new ways for people to interact. Just so you know my background, I was a trial attorney for 18 years in Los Angeles, and I moved up here for the summer when my last kid went to college to test the market. It's been going really well, and I'm hoping to do more events here in the next few months. So we're going to try something new today, and it's called speed networking. So we'll see how it works, so bear with me. If it doesn't work, we'll do something else next time. But here's the concept. We're going to ask every judge to sit in one of these rows. So if you're sitting in the first seat of the row, could you please stand up? Could we have a judge come and sit in the first seat of each row? It's going to be private. It's not like you're going to have to do anything. We're not going to play music upstairs, so don't get too nervous. But every judge, so sit in one of the first seats. Okay, and this is how it's going to work. Let me get the judge all sit. Rob, you have to move. The first seat only with a judge, because people are going to be lining up to talk to you. Okay? And the way this is going to work is, if you want to talk, so every judge stand up, and so that everyone can see where you are first, so they know where you're sitting. Okay, so this is the idea. People will be standing in a line like this, and they can go up to you, the judge, and do a 2-minute fast pitch. And my handy-dandy timer, Bruce, what's his name? Brian? Where'd he go? Oh, he's not here at this moment. Okay, well, I will be using someone else's timer. You get 2 minutes to pitch them, however you want to use your time. Be succinct. And then, when we're all done with this part, either they can tell you now if they have an interest in further discussion, or you can talk to them informally during the networking. So however you want to use your 2 minutes, we'll see how it works. So you can stand up, you can do it as many times as you want, as long as we have time. We're going to try it for about 15 minutes. And we're going to have these chimes that will chime every 2 minutes. So as soon as we do that, please stop and let the next person go. And we'll see, after 10 minutes if we need to do more of it. We'll see how it works and let us know. Okay? So why don't we first start with people going and standing in the line of whichever investor you want to talk to first, so we can kind of sense how many people want to do this. It was a private pitch to investors, because they won't have a sense of how long we do this. Exactly, so let's get the concept right, kind of like expand the line. I think it's easier to go with the line. I think it's easier if we do the lines up and down the aisle facing towards the investors, or that it's the same direction we've been using. So the line in the aisle towards the investors. So you want to talk to Manuel or Ron? Yeah, the line will be this way. The line will be in the chairs away from the investors, so you don't get confused. It's about this evening. Okay. Everybody, is anybody confused? Raise your hand. So you can go in the line. Yeah, we don't start yet, but yeah, you can start doing it. Okay, everybody got it now? Okay. Okay, so we're going to start it now. Start. Here we go. We're going to start it now. I lost my other guys. And every 2 minutes, we're going to chime. Okay, so you can start it now. And then when 2 minutes are up, just chime it like 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'll announce. I'll be here. Okay, sounds good. I'll be announcing at the same time. They would like
I just graduated from Santa Clara. I took a year off from my job to kind of just pursue like my purpose and stuff. I live on my own. Yeah.
When did you want to volunteer? What's it kind of volunteer? I like to do
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
That's the chime. Next person. All right, please stop. And the next person. Your 2 minutes is up. Sorry, 2 minutes is up.
Sorry, this is the last thing I
Please stop. And the next
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I know, right?
No. Yeah, so this is our second one.
Are you ready to take over?
Oh, that's okay.
You sure?
No, I'm good. Oh, you? Oh, for timer?
Yeah.
Oh, did she brief you, or you?
Yeah, basically you just hit this a couple times to let them know it's over. And you tell them to switch.
Are you doing it right now?
Yeah, but you can do
Oh,
it.
okay. No, I'll let you do it. Okay, cool.
No one's paying attention. They suggested that
That's where I like about Silicon Valley. They tell you about free traffic. All right, stop. Please stop. Next one up. Sorry.
Like
Now we know it's
I took a year off from work.
Yeah.
You don't want me to see it.
He actually gave me, yeah, that's very true. I was like, yeah, I guess I think I'll get your record. I was looking at that one. I like that. Network Express, Pitch Express.
Are we going to be gathering back in here after
You're not, you can just hand it over to me, but it's all, they would have to roll. You don't compile No, that's very true, and I don't think we ever really see that we're going to be keeping things for the government. It's more that we're not taking your data and creating information and creating ads and relevant behavior. They don't just say like, oh, it's just my machine. You just create all these ads and
That's really something problem. Within your behavior, right? First of all, can only stop using
I was not prepared. Well, actually, how do I do that?